Hello and welcome to another episode of Never a Straight Answer, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm Gaz, and in the studio as always we've got the little foot himself, Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, you know what he said, don't you?
Yeah, little me.
Little me. Little penguin. Yeah.
How's it going, sir?
Painful lately.
Oh,
yeah.
you've had a bit of a bad week this week, haven't you? He's been into the dentist.
Yes, yeah.
And he's had some work done, and he's wrote him off a bit. And
took me wallet at the same time.
It's not cheap these days, mate. I'm dreading it. I've got to go in for something, but
definitely not.
Like, oh, mate.
I thought I had a massive infection.
I texted him in the week. I said, "You all right?" He goes, "I can't talk."
It literally was only this morning where I got up and it was like, right, it's feeling a lot more better. But I've had to see the dentist twice.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better anyway, and made it into the studio today.
Oh yeah, always, man.
Always. I've had a busy one, but it's just been generally working. Really, I've been working on a few different things. So been all go really, but
you keep getting more on your plate.
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, got to go on a few adventures in next month.
Lucky.
So bugger. Like I say, you'll probably hear more about that once I've done them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Other than that, just been doing some research on this week's topic.
Yeah,
it's been quite interesting actually, and I'll tell you a bit about it. Basically, we were discussing it a couple of weeks ago, weren't we?
Yeah.
Right, about how the FBI had just released
a little file.
Yeah, it was disclosure. Somebody had kind of been on to him and said, can we give us all the information on Bigfoot or the yeti, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call it.
We'll tell you the results.
We'll tell you the results,
easy.
But we're not also going to be just talking about that. We're going to talk about the Bigfoot in general.
Yeah.
A few stories, a few bits and pieces we found out, a few kind of sightings, and a few conspiracy theories, myths, legends, whatever you want to call it. So it's going to be a pretty good episode.
And see what we can combine together and see if we can come up with an answer or two. Yeah, definitely. If possible.
Yeah. So what's anything else before we crack on? Anything else you want? Just a little opening business, or are you good to go?
I am good to go. I think it's time for
the news.
You're right.
Well, we've got quite a lot of news this week to get through, but I wanted to start with this. I know we are, as always, but I wanted to start off with this story I found, and it's a pretty old story actually, but it's going on about the Chernobyl alien. Have you heard about this?
Chernobyl alien? No, not unless I've heard rumours that Chernobyl was a possible conspiracy that it was alien and there's aliens there because.
Why? Because of the radiation.
Yeah,
and stuff
radiation and a way to hide.
Well, it's
from people.
Also like a banned city, isn't it? You're not allowed to go there because of the radiation. There are, aren't they? I watched this program, and there was a woman who'd been there so long, and she was drinking the vodka. Yeah. And they did a Geiger counter thing on the vodka, and it was like if one of us were to drink it, it'd just kill us instantly. But this woman, she's there like bam, bam, bam.
Drink it like, do you want? Come on, I'll take you.
It's like, you pussy, drink the vodka, you pussy.
You can't take your liquor,
it's like, nah, it's dangerous stuff.
Yeah, hell,
but
toxic as fuck.
This is a legend that has it, that there was an alien reportedly found near the village of Novlinovsky. Right, I know, I had this down before.
You were saying this before.
Kalinovi, by a woman called Tamara Pravanya, who had told her neighbour that she found a boy in the woods, right?
What do you mean find a boy? She's just roaming in the woods?
Well, she's kind of weird because it's like it changes the story a bit because after the woman disbelieved her anyway, like the neighbour, and she called an ambulance, and the woman was taken to the hospital where she was basically admitted to a psychiatric unit.
She's a bit of a nut job.
Right. Well, this is how they've seen it, because obviously she's talking about this story that she's found. Yeah. Or she's telling them this story that, they think's a bit impossible.
Yeah.
That she found this boy. But she basically said she found an alien lying in a cot, and she described it as like a paranormal creature, as a cat wrapped in a rag. Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah, so it's a bit of a weird one. Sadly, the old woman actually basically suffered her ultimate demise in a bizarre hit-and-run accident in August of 1999 after she was knocked down by a car before the Moscow researchers were due to meet with her.
Oh,
so she was literally just about to meet up with some people, to discuss the whole incident. Someone who might actually have took her seriously.
Yeah.
And she's knocked down.
Cover up.
So, yeah.
Definitely conspiracy there, then.
I'd definitely say so, yeah. Probably a conspiracy, probably a cover-up. You don't get, you just so happens that you're on the way to meet with the researchers, and then all of a sudden you run over. So,
exactly, it's a case of it doesn't fit right, comfortable.
No, doesn't, does it? Well, I thought it was an interesting story to open with.
Yeah.
And something I read on the paper, on the news. So cracking on.
Sweet. Well, I got something from France.
Oh right, go on then. We're on a bit of a European tour today.
We are at the moment. Yeah. French to legalise cannabis.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui.
Yay! That's not too far as well. You can get a quick Euro tunnel to the France.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
have a quick drag and come back.
Come back, yeah.
And then go back again.
There'll be like people on our end going, "Fucking hell, it stinks! That it's coming.
Yeah.
That weed smell."
Yeah. What was it the other year when there was a big smell
drifting up the tunnel?
Yeah, it was like, what the hell is that?
Well, so go on. What are France saying?
Well, they want to take back control of the black market. Apparently, economic analysers council, which are direct influence with the president of France, have suggested that they legalise cannabis.
I've been suggesting that for years.
Yes, because it will make them 2.5 billion a year.
For those reasons.
Yeah, and plus 57,000 jobs.
Yeah, man. There'll be a lot of people. There'll be loads of adverts in the job centre. Like, do you want to be a weed farmer?
Yeah,
then we
why
got the
not?
job for you. Do you know your sativas from your indicas?
You what? Obviously not. I don't.
Well, there you go.
You
ain't getting the job then, are you, sunshine?
No, I just sit in the shade smoking.
So are they going for it then?
Yeah. Well, basically, they've advised them to do it because. Well, obviously they're going to get they're having a bit of economic problems, so we in this country alone in the first year will make 6.5 billion in the first year.
Well, there you go.
It's a case of the jobs. It will be about 100,000.
I think generally, I mean, it does kind of solve some problems, but it kind of like I can't ever see a problem with it going on the shelves. Well, to be honest, they sell tobacco products, they sell kind of alcohol, which obviously been proven to kind of cause more sort of sickness and health problems.
Most definitely,
right across the board, and it's like and they're both super addictive substances where you can't get your cannabis, which is never, well, as far as I know, has never ever had a sort of.
He's had one death.
And that one death was
complications.
There was complications.
Else,
You can't say that it was down to that.
It
just so happened.
But it had
I think this
effect.
person obviously had underlying issues. Where that kind of didn't help. But then again, it's like I think a lot of this kind of comes down to the person as well, because if you've got kind of, in terms of mental health issues, I think if you've got those issues anyway, then don't smoke weed.
Well, first you shouldn't have it young.
Right, yeah.
Don't
make it a kind of an age limit on it. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
right.
Without a doubt.
But thing is, it's like I think there's a lot of kind of countries that are kind of opening up to it. France, Portugal.
Portugal's the biggest one.
Canary Islands to an extent. Obviously Holland. Canada.
Yeah.
It's going to be it's going to be a green globe soon.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping so.
Hashtag green globe trademarked.
Yeah, hell yeah. But it's looking that way that it's growing more and more. Well, it reminds me of sort of what's happening with the UFO movement as well. Like there's more and more information coming out. And then there's countries that are more and more open
maybe
to
we'll
stuff.
be type like the aliens would like to come down to planet Earth because it's like a groovy place to hang out. We can smoke a doob and talk about it.
Countries have been tight ass for a long, long time, and they're starting to loosen out and let that shit out.
Hey, we'll get some Bob Dylan on. We'll listen to a bit of Hendrix, you know. This is all good.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
We'll just smoke a bowl.
Yeah. Sit down, chat, chill, eat some pizza.
Yeah.
You get me? Yeah,
talk
man.
it over.
Yeah,
it'll be
internationally.
all good.
Yeah. That's what the UN need. They need a big bag of weed. That's what they need.
Stick
the fucking world
Stick a big hookah pipe in the middle and
hell
a choke on that.
Just get them in there, box them in.
Wow.
Box them in, smoke pops.
Well, actually, hotboxing has been. It is kind of which university was it? That deduced we talked about
we talked about it last week.
And they said what did they come up with the findings where it was an excellent way to get high?
I don't agree. I need to test this theory.
Why are we not funding stuff like this?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's ridiculous sometimes, but like I said, they're starting to loosen the grip. So things that what society want and basically want the governments to do for them are starting to come our way slightly, but it might be a miss. It might be one of them. Give it 5 years and then all this strictness comes back, or even more.
Yeah.
So it might be just one of them that's like, we'll let them have a little bit and then go. You know what?
It'll be like the 90s. For a bit, a bit kind of like, hey.
Another way of making money, isn't it?
And then let them have it, and then all of a sudden it all come crashing down.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's like in America, you can't, in certain states, you can't have a weed plantation unless you've got 10 million or more.
Yeah, but this is the thing, because they're
trying to take the grip back again.
Well, what they're doing is, because there was a lot of independent farmers who don't have a lot of money at the beginning, getting on it, and then
earning
some money, but then the big boys who have the facilities and the money and the capacity to grow stupid amounts, they dictate the law. Yeah. But then it's those who can kind of ride that. So when the tax goes up on it really high, those guys are the ones who can ride that out, whereas all the little guys will go under. Yeah. And then when it comes to it, and when it settles down again and comes back to levels off, then they'll still be in business, whereas all those kind of independent, it would have all been flushed away. So it's harsh, but
it is. It's harsh, and it's. I suppose if you're a businessman now, you'd be turning around going, but that's business. Business is hard.
There's companies out there who want to put it into food. They want to put it into fucking vape pens. They want to put it into your fucking in capsule form. In every single way, THC and CBD is being used to kind of push. Companies were, as soon as the law started to shift a bit in certain countries, people were on it.
Yeah.
So
But the problem is the normal living. Man, woman, and child that are in society have got to be under control, and the only way to control them is by controlling their money and controlling how they live, and that's the living basis of why people can't get up the ladder the way they should be allowed to, because there is a control there around the world to stop you from doing that. And once you try, I mean, it's like people who make an engine that could go on water, use water, closing down.
I know where you're coming. I do know where you're going with that. Because you're kind of saying that it's like shutting the little man down or shutting the small businessman down.
Big markets are there.
Of course it is. It's big oil. It's big fucking businesses. It's big. It's fucking Coca-Colas, man. Yeah. It's like and that's why people should support local. Fucking stuff.
Totally.
Local craft beers, local
small
fucking
shops,
local dealers.
Yeah.
God honest bedroom farmer.
Yeah. So he earns a little bit a year on top of his $5,000 wage.
Probably just gets high on his own supply.
Yeah. So, you should never abuse your own supply, man.
So moving to so where are we going next?
We're going to the Philippines.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, we're going to fly from France to the Philippines. Or beam over.
I'll beam over me. I've got the teleporter pod ready.
Let's get over there.
Right, we're in the Philippines. Go.
Right, the city of Philippines.
Right.
Have installed devices throughout parks at night to keep teenagers out of the parks.
Bastards.
And there's more and more of it. Apparently.
When I was a teenager, that's all I did. Just spent my days in a park.
Yeah, wait,
with a 2-litre bottle of White Lightning.
Yeah.
Yes, a fucking...
So what are you going to... So if you were a teenager, what would you do if the park was shut?
Well, then you'd be forced to wander the streets, wouldn't you? It's like you can't go in a park. They stopped your kids going outside shops by getting those mosquito devices.
That's exactly what they're using.
And that's what they're using there.
Yeah.
So they're basically high pitched. Now adults actually picked up on those as well, right? Because if you had sensitive hearing,
up to 20, what the age? Up to 25. Up to the age of 25, you'll hear this pitch.
Crazy, man.
It is, but they're trying to stop
manipulation and basically saying you can't go in a public space.
Yeah.
Why? Because you there after hours.
Yeah, their mum and dads are taxpaying citizens to open them parks so the kids can go there in the day or the night.
And what harm are they doing? At least they're not on the streets and they're in a controlled environment which is designed for kids. And do you know what I mean? Or for sort of chilling and having a nice sunny time in the park.
A lot of shit could go off, you know what I mean? It's like dark entries. Well, dark entries and stuff like that.
Yeah, muggings and stuff like that. Alright then. Right, if the kids aren't doing it, then they've got...
Yeah, but I think they're trying to protect them from
muggers.
From muggers. There might be a gang culture going on there.
It's one of them, innit? Then it's like, well, we're doing it for your own protection, and it's like, well, do they grow up and go, actually, they were right to do that because the world is a shit place? Do you know what I mean?
Well,
or do they grow up thinking, oh, mate, anti-establishment, it's the government, they're stopping us from doing what we want to do when we want to do it.
It's getting that bit in between. It's getting the right angle of both of them parts of situation. It's just a case of common sense at the end of the day. But there's a lot of people out there without common sense.
It's like I always thought, there's a few things you've got to be a bit streetwise.
Yeah.
And when people cross over the road to get away from other people, right? I always found that when I saw my friends do that and they cross over the road to avoid other group of kids,
you know why?
That's why they go, oi, and they target you because they're like, what are you crossing over the road for, So we used to just walk right through the middle of them.
Yeah.
And, if they were going to say something, they're going to say something
anyway.
Badge. Or otherwise, they just let you walk through most of the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Just because they look like a gang of hooligans.
Exactly. Just because they look like a gang, don't judge.
They did a criminal test on that,
don't judge too quickly.
They did a jury test about 2 years ago. It might have been a bit longer actually. Where what they did is they brought a couple of people in, right, and they said, right, does this person look guilty or not?
Right.
Yeah. And it turned out that more innocent people were getting guilt
pointed out.
Yeah. And it was a case of because of your looks, the way you dress, the way you smile, the way you
like if you're an innocent person and you're put in a police lineup,
most people will be nervous.
It's like, mate, I guarantee you, everybody on Earth going through passport checking or customs
squeaky bum time
looks fucking guilty, right? I don't care what they've got nothing on them at all, but every fucker looks guilty. I've been
don't search me back. Don't search me back.
Like they can't be arsed. They don't want to be hassled. They look guilty as fuck, right? Tell me I'm wrong. Do you know what I mean? They all do.
Right. Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's like I think innocent people, right? I've got more sort of worry and because if anyone they don't want to be pointed the finger at them because they know they're innocent.
They don't want the search. They don't want the strip search and all that. It's like, whoa.
So it's like
you ain't finding my mobile.
Exactly right. So it's like
it's okay. But they're the kind of things that like through life you learn to either cope with or can't. But then if you can't cope with it, you look guilty. If you can cope with it, you might be guilty and you'll get free.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's just a case of just because it looks doesn't mean
the guy strutting in confidently might be the guilty one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Been looking. Obviously, it's a story that I've been looking into for a very long time, and there's been apparently some new leads. The Madeleine McCann detectives are close to a breakthrough. They say.
Really hope so.
So police investigating the disappearance of Madeleine McCann on a family holiday in Portugal are said to be getting close to solving the mystery. Officers have narrowed it down to a foreign man who was in the Algarve when she went missing in 2007. British and Portuguese police are set to probe the new clues and suspects, according to local media reports. So you know,
but is it going to be one of them other things that are going to be? Yeah, we went round, we got a misend of the stick or whatever, and the case is like still ongoing.
Well, it's been ongoing for what now, 11, 12 years. I think Madeleine's herself going to be getting into her late teens.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously she's got the distinctive markings, or like her eyes are two different colours, like Bowie.
Yeah,
or Bowie, or however you want to pronounce it.
If she's a teen, she'd be wanting to dye her hair, she'd be wanting to wear makeup, she'd be wanting, might not even know what's happened in the past.
You'd think that people have earliest memories, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you have earliest memories, right, and you're still at a certain age, it's like teaching a puppy.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? You could turn around and go, yeah, but that was a dream that you had. You know,
true, yeah,
that's how you believe in.
It depends on how horrific it was. Now that's, you know, I mean, I don't want to sound negative, but that's only if she's, still, around today. It comes after a mystery tip-off. Basically, they were examining the 12-year-old long case, and officers said they were looking into alleged foreign paedophiles who were in Portugal in 2007. So it's believed
doesn't necessarily have to be a paedophile.
This is the first face-to-face meeting since the new suspects came to light after Scotland Yard officers went to kind of have a meeting with him. It's not clear if... so they've got a kind of suspect, but they're not clear of his whereabouts at the moment.
So now they're going to have to go to Interpol and get a warrant to try and find
this guy, yeah. So, yeah, ongoing, but we'll if they do crack it, we'll
be all over the news, hopefully.
Well, yeah, God, that'll be front page news, because, I mean, obviously they've been... I said they'd do this as well when this whole sparked off, about, we're going to get all this kind of... And I hate to say this because it was a media sort of... Frenzy, right? But in terms of an ongoing story that they can kind of use to kind of sell papers, so, for a long time it was like, 5 years on, this is what Madeleine would have looked like, and they'd do like a photo fit of her, and then 10 years on, this is, and it's another...
I don't think most papers... I don't know. I think on at some level they've done it out of trying to still find her. But
of course, I really do hope they find her. Do you know what I mean?
Again.
There's been so many sort of conspiracies and kind of like theories and allegations and stuff over the years.
Yeah, which is good, but in another way, just give us the facts. Don't give us this might happen, that might happen, this could have been the... Just give us the main facts and then... fuck off, basically. That's what I want from a paper. Give me the facts and then fuck off.
Yeah.
Done. Instead of pissing about, you know what I mean? It's just a goddamn nightmare, isn't it? We have a story again. What's happened to the internet and YouTube again with a big YouTubing platform, which is Third Phase and Me.
Oh right, yeah.
And they basically done what they did with what's it called?
Secure Team 10. Yeah,
they've told them.
So they're not demonetised.
You've gone.
Just basically took them. They've not took them down, but they basically said that you don't adhere to our new rules and regulations.
Yeah.
We're demonetising everything.
Which they're bringing out on the 22nd of July.
They do seem to be targeting these sort of kind of alternative news sort of kind of not conspiracy but alien disclosure sites. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's one of their main actions is to take people away from conspiracies or stuff that they're like, shouldn't be in the mainstream,
or what they consider fake news. I mean, there is a lot of fake news, don't get me wrong, and I mean, but I think, we kind of source our news. I mean, it's not exactly hard what we do in terms of finding news, because we kind of read the news, and we report stories like as we find them, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
But it's
mainstream media, basically. You can find these stories online, you know. But the thing is, it's like,
in little corners.
When you find bits of information that are on these sites, like Secure Team 10, and you know, Third Phase of the Moon, you get kind of like footage that is sent in from all around the world from viewers who have had experiences, who film things themselves, and they're putting them up, saying, we've had this. And I think Tyler's a good example because, I mean, like I say, I've always said that he kind of doesn't really kind of push an agenda. He always says stuff like, you know, well, here's what I've found, here's what I've been sent. What do you think, guys? You know, I'm not, you know, he's not kind of forcing it. No. So he's just kind of reporting it. Like he's not saying this is what I believe. He's saying this is what isn't this. He's saying isn't this incredible? Look at this, it's amazing. Check this out. So you know you can't fault the kids. So but the fact is this is how these people are making their livings. You know when they're professional YouTubers. Who, you know, that's how they support the families. So when you get kind of the corporate YouTube name going, no, sorry lads, we're taking away your funding.
Basically, they got your contracts 24/7,
which they've worked hard for. Not to mention, got YouTube because every time anyone logs onto YouTube, it's not like right, fair enough. We're checking out our favourite entertainers, on the channels, but we're also looking at a YouTube page which is obviously got an advert on it, which generates revenue for YouTube. And every time we watch a video, we have to watch an advert which generates revenue for YouTube. All the time we spend on YouTube is generating revenue for them, right? So for them to turn around, so imagine how many hours of people watching to get millions of views. And you know, that's sort of hits, isn't it? It's like how we like, well, we've got how many downloads a week. But then YouTube are looking at it going, how many hits or how much traffic is coming to YouTube on a monthly basis, which generates ad revenue. Do you know what I mean? So it's like these guys are creators who are generating revenue for them as well as themselves. So by taking their stuff down, I mean, they're not asked because they've got big money.
Exactly,
so you know what I mean. It's like, well, we're trying to move into more of a family-friendly sort of channel, right?
They could do that by separating and making a new one.
Well, that's what they tried to. They've got YouTube Kids, haven't they now? So kids can't run into anything too dodgy because obviously you look at YouTube and it recommends you some really weird shit anyway because of the algorithms.
You are being traced like 24/7, so they know. They try and know what you're.
So what's happening then?
So basically, they've closed it for now. They did it, I believe, yesterday.
Do you think that they'd get the same sort of support that Tyler did? Because obviously his was back up within 24 hours.
I'm hoping so because there is don't get me wrong, I don't really watch the show that much. But
I watch it occasionally, I do like it, and I think that do you know what? Right, and just one criticism. I don't like the audio, the music, because they always go, we've got a CD out as well. And it's like, do you do that because you want to push your music, or is the music just a byproduct of the show? Do you know what I mean?
I think they want to push the music as well, but it's a selling point.
Well, maybe they could make enough money from the CDs to keep going. Do you know what I mean?
Something must be keeping them going because, like, they brought out some wicked stuff. But if you remember last week, I was saying that there's a guy who's going to take them down and see an alien part. And test it out. Well.
But didn't you say this alien part had been tested like many times before?
No, Stone, the guy who's got the piece of alien ship, has hid it, and he's only let 20 people see it.
Oh, right.
And every time they've gone to it, they've gone and they've touched it. It feels like that it's alive.
Oh, right.
So what he wants to do is go to Third Phase of the Moon, which he did, and take them there with a science group. Do a few tests and that. Go and do your little tests and shit. Come back from it, and then come out with the results. so we can see what this part is, what it is. If it's from this planet, could we ever make it? You know, all certain questions. But I think we're all going to know the answers to it.
So what are they saying? It
it's supposed to be happening this month.
Oh right, so they've not actually analysed it yet.
No, and it's funny how soon as their last video come out with that.
Oh right, now they've been taken down.
Been told they've been taken down, and it's a case of. Oh yeah, is there a reason behind it? Could there be a reason behind it?
It always seems a bit suspect when these things happen. Yeah.
Blatant. That's the fucking funniest part about it.
Yeah, but then it's
so blatant.
It just reminds me of like, what is it, Hot Fuzz, where he's like, oh, it's just accidents, and he's like, what? Oh, he fell on his shears last week. It's like, and then they're just ignorant to it, where everyone just go, no, we'll put it down. It was an accident. Yeah, but you have to. There's so many accidents. People start thinking, you know, something's up. There's only so many people found in suitcases and you know in locked hotel rooms. Or
there's people, locked women inside.
Yeah, exactly. Or like people like the Russian lady getting run over, or even. Who was it we were talking about? We were talking about a ufologist. I was listening to an interview on the last podcast on the left with Dan Aykroyd. Just because we were talking about Dan Aykroyd as well last week. This Dan Aykroyd podcast interview came up, and it was really cool. It was really good that they got Dan on. It was great stuff. Like, he was talking about a ufologist who'd actually been run over. Like on his way to a seminar or something like that, or he'd come back, he'd disclosed something, and I can't remember his name now, but he was actually run over by a car. But then, the same day, 3 other people with the same name in the UK were also run over by a car. You know,
circumstance.
We found 4 in the electoral roll. Where are they all? All right, well, we'll get them all tracked down. We'll just run them all over just to make sure.
Because them kind of people don't mind taking the innocent.
It's not coincidental, that.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No. That's
what was he called, though? The guy who you were talking about? Stone.
What's his flaming name? I think I've got it written down here, actually. Summit Stone. What was it? It weren't Bob Stone, was it?
Bob Stone.
Clifford Stone.
Clifford Stone is a fucking rock and roll name. It's good. What's his middle name? Granite.
I don't know. I think wood.
Cliff. Straight away. Cliff Rock Stone. The rock and roller. Well, anyway.
Well, he lived a lifestyle. Fucking well.
From one stone to another, I've got a story here on Stonehenge.
Stonehenge.
According to the Daily Star, Stonehenge was built by a flying godlike alien creature.
Oh, was it?
So the Stonehenge was mysteriously built by, like I say, a godlike alien flying monster creature. Thousands of people yesterday gathered at Stonehenge to mark the summer solstice. And you know, basically, it's still kind of they were all having a boogie woogie around the stones. Now it's a heritage site, so obviously it's like for a long time they wouldn't even let you near the thing. Obviously, when it comes to the summer solstice, everyone just rushes it, I think.
Well, but I do agree with that. I do agree with that. You shouldn't be ruining. I mean, look at that fucking biggest mountain.
Which one?
I don't know. Oh, what's it called now? Biggest mountain in the world.
I'm gonna say Kilimanjaro.
No.
Everest.
Yeah, that's the fella.
Is Everest the tallest mountain?
It's supposed to be, but I believe because of the actual shape of the world, it's actually one in Africa.
Right, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, the summer solstice is like the longest day.
Yeah.
It was really, what was it? I think we got kind of 18 hours of sunlight yesterday.
We had a lot.
So it was the longest day of the year.
But it was gorgeous.
And obviously, people travel from all over the UK to go all over the world sometimes to come and see the stones. The stones themselves, actually, aren't local to the area. They're from a valley or like a quarry in Wales, So to bring those lumps of rock all that way to build a henge in Cornwall,
and then give it up,
And then just, well, how do we know they give it up? Because obviously
they should have put a roof on it. Yeah, they might
have had a roof on it.
Yeah, they might have.
And it just rotted away. Maybe it wasn't a case of
Tornado.
It's obviously stone. You can't have you might not be worth having a stone roof. So the thatcher roof.
I think it was a smoke room myself.
What, it's like hotboxing?
Yeah. He was building a hotbox. Well, anyway, and it just went wrong.
Well, some people suggest that the stones were dragged over land in boats.
Fuck dragging that fucker.
Or by, sheer brute force, like muscle power. But those who believe extraterrestrials are convinced, believe in extraterrestrials are convinced that it was actually aliens who put them there.
I'm not too sure. With the extraterrestrials and Stonehenge, I'm not really that convinced, to be honest, on that case.
Well, Swiss author Erich von Däniken promoted the idea that alien astronauts visited the Earth in 1998 in his best-selling book, Chariots of the Gods.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, Däniken theorises that alien astronauts visited the planet in ancient times and had a role in our creation of stone and role in the creation of Stonehenge. And other megalithic say it. Yeah, other structures, megastructures, megalithic. Yeah. Hey! There you go. And other megastructures that would have been basically beyond the ability of humans to build. So, what do you reckon to that? Do you think it is aliens who built Stonehenge?
I think, I'm not convinced.
Well, they were all druids, weren't they, back in the day? Like they were all like, and
they were willing to.
Let's go dance around the henge.
Well, I don't know.
Well, Bible prophecies claim that the rapture is coming.
Well, I'm sitting on the fence on that one.
This is actually another story around Stonehenge. We're leaving God then, because this is how kind of rubbish these sort of claims are. Do you know, whenever there's an apocalyptic claim in the news and Bible prophecies and stuff like that. Well, it said that the rapture was coming and it was going to be on the summer solstice, and that was yesterday. So there you go. So that was
they're late. They better fuck off then, aren't they? You better come back. They better ring us back and give us another date, because they've been fucking wrong again.
Well, got one more story before we go into NASA news. Yeah, and then So this is actually leads into the NASA news quite well. Tom DeLonge. Blink-182 singer, obviously founder of the To The Stars Academy, is reported to be 37 million in debt.
Fuck, and he got no more rich mates.
Well, no, he's been scraveling off everyone on his Go Fuck Yourself campaign, haven't you?
He better sell all his toys and shit then.
The Academy for UFO Studies founder Tom DeLonge is obviously former Blink-182 frontman, is reported to have racked up $37 million worth of debt, and the To The Stars Academy aims to make transformative discoveries that will revolutionise human existence.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's probably going to go bankrupt.
Yeah.
And then get away with it, and then start another business and do it again.
That's what he's been doing, though.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's been doing. You know what? And I told you this, I'm going to keep saying this.
He's been smart.
Yeah, no, he hasn't, right? He had a debt in his family trust fund, right? And then basically, right, he's been doing T-shirt companies and fucking this, that and the other, and websites and all this, right, for a long time, and it's all the money has been filtered back into his family trust, right? Now, To The Stars has come out, and all of a sudden he was getting massive donations from people, right? How the fuck is he 37 million in debt?
Because
and I'm not being funny. I wonder if you check his trust fund now, if that's now flourishing and flush. Do you know what I mean?
Of course it is. But he's doing it because there was a thing I heard years ago about in America, you're not considered a businessman unless you go bust at least 3 times.
Oh yeah, like Trump.
Yeah. Now he's already done that.
I'm not being funny, right? I might be totally wrong about this, but do you know what I mean? This is from what I've gathered from articles I've read.
Yeah.
Now, when you find that, like, you've got this... I don't even understand why he's even the guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that one, because it's like, that's like picking an hedgehog to beat up a fucking ferret.
Well, like I say, there's a lot more people in the world who I think have got a lot more to kind of offer. You know, why
wasn't who are already out there.
Yeah, exactly. Actual people working in the field of ufology.
And not considered a kook.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd vote, like you say. I said this last week on the ufology one. Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's got kind of like, he was a fucking Ghostbuster, man. What do you want? If you can't trust a fucking Ghostbuster to, you know,
sort this shit
who can
out.
You trust?
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd came on the telly today and said,
the 18. We'll get the 18.
BA's kind of a bit like couldn't probably get it out.
They're a bit ropey now, but you know, I reckon they'll still be able to do it.
Got some nuts.
Yeah.
And it's like now, I think like if Christopher Lloyd came out, right, he's another one. I trust him. He's Doc from Back to the Future. If he came out with, guys. Yeah.
Nah, I don't
got shit going. I go, right, alright, Doc, I believe you.
That's like Rick and Morty.
No, fucking that.
That's who he reminds me of.
Hey, Rick. God, can't wait for season.
Why is every sentence, when he finishes, he says Morty? He doesn't have to say Morty.
He knows who he's talking to.
Yeah, exactly. And there's only them 2 there, so why does he have to say it at the end of every sentence?
It is a great show. Can't wait for the new season to come out.
It's a buggy show.
Anyway,
it is a buggy show.
Have you been catching up? I take it.
Yeah. Funny enough, yeah. It was whenever it was on late the other night, and I thought, I'll give it a whirl. I've already put it on my Sky to tape to record it.
Oh right, like so, yeah.
But I haven't been going and watching it because I forgot all about it, and it was like, what the fuck do I want to understand about them? I've got fucking science and that's the thing about it.
I love it. I love a bit of Rick and Morty.
But I was watching it. Yeah, I like the concepts a little bit, but I just don't like certain things in it, like the fucking dribbling all the time. But baby, why? I know he's pissed. But why does he have to do it all the fucking time? And why does he have to say Morty at the end all the time? There's little irritating bits in it.
Well, because he's
isn't he? He's a fucking cartoon character and he's rubbing out.
There's loads of there's loads of different explanations you could give for that, because there's multiple Mortys. So
yeah, and it doesn't work out then.
And then it's like, well, you say, hey, Morty, because you're talking to your
fucked
Morty.
up the first time, you're going to fuck his life up again, and then you're going to fuck the next one, and the next one.
Well, do you think that's what's happening? Because there is...
he keeps killing the fucker off.
Well, how do you know he is killing the fucker off? Because it's like, there is a theory...
Because he keeps going to another multiverse, doesn't he?
No, but he always takes Morty with him. So
no,
the Morty,
always. Not if Morty's dead.
Well, it's not like it's not like that. It's not like. And
how does the other one know that he keeps killing him?
I can't even explain it to you.
You know what I mean?
I can't even explain it, and I'm not even going to try.
Shit.
If you want to text in and or email in and explain,
answer some bloody simple questions, please.
Then you're welcome. But I ain't going in there.
Why not? Why? You haven't got the answers.
No, because I fully understand it. I've watched it from the beginning. I totally understand.
Right.
I've got my own theories. I've seen a few other people's theories. If you want me to go down this road, do you want me to explain?
Probably right.
No, do you want me to explain it?
No, I don't think we've got time.
Right, exactly. Okay. We will do. I will do a deep dive explanation of Rick and Morty to Taylor and record it as a separate thing. And put it out.
Yeah.
I'll put it out and watch his head fucking fry because he's gonna know.
Put it on the extra.
All right,
do that.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So going into
I already fucked my head up. That
shit. Fucking confused.
It's like fucking hell. Why can't it be like The Simpsons? Fucking something simple.
No, because The Simpsons has a simple plot thing where it's like whatever happens at the beginning, wherever you start a Simpsons episode,
you leave it. It ends because it starts at the beginning again.
At the same with exactly no consequences. Everything's resolved.
Yeah.
Right. So no matter where you pick up a Simpsons episode, you can watch it, and it's a contained story.
Yeah.
Right. Never part 2. Yeah, right. Maybe sometimes, right?
But you get the occasions.
In all those seasons, they always wrap it up in 20, 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And Rick and Morty doesn't do that. It's an episodic.
It goes, I'm going to fuck with your mind,
it is
and then you're going to come back story. And watch me fuck with your mind.
So when
more.
networks are picking it up, like Channel 4 or E4 or you know, they might not necessarily be putting those episodes in order. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think they are, because the first one was he fucking stood in a room. There was like 6 people. He's writing fucking 6 on the road and then on the wall, and then all of a sudden, who's this little fucking monkey who's turned up and like, you know, chattering shit? A banana talking to him like he's fucking on it.
That's
for years.
Mr. Poopy Butthole.
And then this fucking waiter who wants to dress up as a woman to take the son to the fucking ball. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck's going on here?
Right, anyway, moving on.
And I suppose they're all characters in the fucking London story, innit? It's a fucking nut job thing to watch that. If you want to watch it, you'll lose your fucking mind. Oh my days, it's just...
Have you finished?
Yeah, sorry man, I'm ranting, because Rick and fucking Morty. Yeah.
Anyway... Right, NASA news. The NASA rover on Mars.
You haven't seen Rick and Morty,
has detected a puff of gas that hints at possibilities of life.
Oh, yeah.
The Curiosity mission. Scientists have picked up a signal this week, and they're seeking additional readings from the red planet. So basically, so this could mean that they could... And this is it, when people say life, they say, you know, think four-legged...
Yeah, they think someone who's going to say, hello, how you doing?
Or even a Bigfoot, do you know what I mean? Of anything, do you know, like a bit hominoid.
Yeah,
right? But no, bacteria, kind of like microscopic level.
That's where we need to start.
Well, if we're looking for life on Mars, then I reckon that's probably our best bet.
There. So
that's what they're thinking. I think that's what they're saying. It's a methane gas that they've picked up on.
Yeah. So there's definitely some kind of bacteria... object, which has been proven when they've been going to the ISS and putting bacteria there and seeing the growth and which one die, which one survive, and it's like food poisoning. It's like, whoa, fuck me, grows like oh my days. I wish it grew like my weed house. Fuck me, it'll be in there 10 minutes. It'll be like, psh, nice. But fuck man, it's like. Yeah, there's in fact there's an article that I've got on that NASA and 80%, roughly 80% of scientists are now saying, like, the conspiracy theory is over. There's more likely to be life in our solar system than not.
Yeah, well, this
like
is
for the last fucking.
They're saying that we're in the middle. They're saying that we're in the middle of a soft disclosure sort of thing, aren't they? And I mean, like. We're getting. I mean, is it that we're just kind of open to accept this sort of stuff nowadays? And you know, but it's all these declassified documents that, you know, they don't just need to declassify. Most of it's all blacked out, so you can't see a lot of the information. And you know, a lot of it's, you know, bullshit. I mean, we're looking at one tonight, and this tonight's episode is basically because FBI have declassified some documents. Yeah. And we've looked into it and found it to be a bit of a bullshit. Yeah, right?
Found it funny.
It was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke.
So, you know, well, it was. That's exactly what it looks like. Yeah. So we'll go into that. But, I mean, you know, the fact is that the disclosure, it's not a case of if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. And you've got to think that these people have got, you know, they need to get kind of on it, really, because what's that going to happen?
It's dangerous though as well, because, like, I look on the opposite side, right? Let's say you're the government and you've got millions of documents that point that aliens have been coming. They're among us now. They've been like, I don't know, eating a couple of us, you know, each year or something like that. They have some kind of festival, you know, some kind of shit like that. Now. The little things are coming out now, slowly but surely, and it's, you know, a little bit bigger every time. Well, some of the time, let's say. Now, you don't want them coming out and going, by the way, by 2020, on your birthday, about 50,000 people are going to get hit from these monsters in Turkey. What we're going to do? We can't tell you that. You know what I mean? There'll be certain things that they won't be able to say, which I suppose I wouldn't want to say either. If I had that power in my hand, I wouldn't want to say, you know.
Yeah. I know where you're coming from. Yeah.
You can come out with and not scare the public without them going, oh shit, right.
Well, maybe these chaps found out a little bit because hackers had been squatting on the primary NASA network for 10 months.
Yeah.
And infected the data from 23 files. So attackers have potentially infected malware, malicious signals.
Yeah.
And, you know, infected the human space flight missions.
Oh,
so unknown hackers used Raspberry Pi attached within the NASA network at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
Bastards.
And then moved literally across the NASA network, causing a load of shit, and then just basically fucked a lot of shit up. So, you know, how the hell did they manage to get in undetected, for one? Do you know what I mean? How come they weren't clocked by their sort of security?
If you wanted to get in somewhere, you will do it.
It's a bit crazy. I mean, do you know what a Raspberry Pi is?
Yeah, don't you go to a bakery for that?
Yeah, well, most people would, but in sort of computer terms, it's a little miniature sort of computer that runs on a Linux sort of operating system, which the tiny little, quite strong PCs. Do you know what I mean? Okay. People, you can go on the YouTube and you can find people making desktop PCs out of like Jack Daniels bottles using Raspberry Pi.
Right,
chip-based technology, so basically it's like the motherboard that's shrunk right down, and the sort of like what your mobile phones run off.
Well, yeah, because it was lollipop on it, and
so to that extent, I'm not claiming to be an expert on this stuff, but this is just stuff I picked up. But like, how they've managed to get in there, and they've obviously been going into sort of private and confidential files, and but they've also managed to infect it with malicious sort of software. So
see that's not a good thing.
Now you could argue, they're fucking trying to get the answers, they're trying to get information.
Yeah, but what if they just fucked up a major mission?
Of course, yeah.
Actually found life. Or done something for the Earth.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda, though, innit, mate? It's like, they could have found it, but they could have found nothing. Yeah, no, it's not that. It's
I don't mind going in snooping.
It's not. Exactly. No harm in going a bit snooping. Yeah. But when it's putting people's lives at risk.
Exactly.
Is when you're like, shit, mate. Yeah. You've crossed the line. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, who could know that? Like, for all we know, when Challenger went up, that could have been an error because of a computer system.
Yeah, because somebody tried hacking a system.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's just a case of like, you just don't play them fucking games. It's not funny, but
it's not big and it's not clever.
It's not. It really isn't. So you've got to be smart. But NASA have got another object which will be flying into the skies and is doing its test flights at the minute. It's on like a stage 2, and it's called the X-57 plane. It is going to be the first electric plane that like
sounds like something out of Star Wars, like an X-wing X-57.
Yeah, it's got like it's weird because it's like a normal, small plane, a light aircraft. Now, on the end of the tips of it, it's got the propellers. Yeah, and along the wings, it's got other propellers there as well. It's got like 15 propellers or some shit across it.
Sounds fancy.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound very. I mean, obviously, so it's a prop plane, and it's
a plane that they want to produce, like because
it's an electric plane. You're saying, yeah. So yeah,
well, it's the second stage. The first stage was called what was it called again? Now, yellow mode.
Right. Okay.
Which was to do with the engineering of getting the electric to actually work on these propellers and stuff like that, and the propellers would work and that. And then they've on stage mode 2, which is flying it, which they've started doing it yesterday.
I suppose it's trying to get a power supply that's going to run all those propellers.
This is the thing.
For so long. So if you've got international flights or 4-hour flights, that it's not just going to cut out.
Well, no, halfway. And even you and me could just get in the plane and fuck off. You know what I mean?
Well, how do you... What?
Is you just get...
GPS? Is
on
it going
holidays, like holiday destinations and stuff like
that. So
what?
Would it be... Using? Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying, but we can get on a regular plane and do that now.
Yeah, but one, it costs you a fucking bomb. 2, you got a fucking queue. 3, you got to be searched.
So what, is this something that we can have ourselves privately?
Well, this is what eventually they want to make, because after this they're going into stage mode 3, which mode 3 is to go to NASA and do a load more test flights.
Are you telling me that we are going to be close to having private flying cars?
Well, I tell you, this year we will.
Yay!
By a Swedish company is given a license to use. I don't know where and I don't know how high they can use it, but they've had their commercial license.
There's going to be problems with this.
There is.
It's like nowadays you can't even fly a drone now without having a license. So
Well, this is it. But you don't need a license for these.
At the moment.
Yeah.
At the moment.
There'll be a new set of rules.
Well, no, it's only when these things come in that they decide that there's an issue and they need regulations about it. Because if you get every numpty, well, you'll get one idiot flying his flying car over Heathrow. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
exactly
halting all the planes.
All the traffic,
and then it'll be like...
There
was a guy doing it with a drone, weren't he? And then they said it was a UFO.
Yeah, and they still don't know what
They still don't know what it was.
They arrested a couple as well.
They did, didn't they? Yeah, from a few miles away.
Innocent couple.
Were they innocent, or were they kind of...
But companies are getting into drone deliveries and that now. I think they've been accepted over certain areas to do it within England. And they're doing the test flights and test, drop-offs and that. Carry fridges and fucking cars and shit across the I don't know, the moors. But they're doing a little stuff first, like, you know what I mean. But I can't see him carrying big stuff. But even then, with the little stuff, who is that fucking lazy to pick up a phone and go, deliver me by vehicle, car, I want it by drone, or I can't get off my fat ass to go down to the shop, which is next door but one, and go and get a pint of milk, ringing a fucking drone to do it. It's making society more lazy, it's making society more docile. It's making us... don't get me wrong, there are good points to drones, but there are also bad points to drones. Yep. You know what I mean? Well, that's in everything. But they're not only developing. I don't want to see it.
They're not only developing a flying car plane type thing, electric one. NASA are actually developing a flying sort of a spaceship. Yeah. That's self-driving, I suppose. They're working on
self-driving spaceship.
Well, they reckon that they've built a portable atomic clock that could revolutionise space travel, right? So travelling the solar system could one day be as easy as taking a bus to work. Scientists have invented the self-driving spaceship, basically, which will be able to ferry astronauts through deep space, and GPS-like system will be guiding them on the thing because of this atomic clock that they're going to be putting in.
It takes more than that atomic clock, though. Yeah, well, I understand that they're making it for the solar system. That's fair enough. But you've got to consider all the other things, right? Well, you're sat in a coffin, basically. Anything can hit you, of course, including radiation.
Yeah, just because you've been shielding. Well, that's the thing. If you're in a boat or anything like that, and you plot a course, Captain.
Yeah, but at least I've got a chance to fucking survive.
Well, yeah, if you
go
manual...
I wouldn't if it was up in the fucking coffin of space.
If you could pilot it manually, then you could probably avoid it if you could if you were keeping an eye on the apparatus and the instruments, then right. But if you were just set on a trajectory, it's like, again, Hitchhiker's Guide, we stick all of them in the ark and send them off. And it's like, well, we were just programmed to keep going.
But we got a big problem with that. There's a big issue with that a lot of people don't think about. Right. Earth gets hit by meteorites left, right and centre, don't they?
Oh, of course, yeah, right? I know what you're going to say. Yeah, it's like...
Now, the same effect would happen in a
But you could say that about any sort of space travel. Any sort of spacecraft, though.
So what you need before you could even do that kind of shit, there's some kind of shielding.
Shields up, Captain.
So that's what we need to
We just don't do it, Captain. The dilithium crystals can't take it, Captain.
That's it. So you need to consider that before you even consider sending someone like to fucking Mars.
Well, the prototype for the clock is scheduled to launch on the June 24th. For a test flight.
Oh, right.
NASA's Deep Space Atomic Clock, or the DSAC for short, will count the seconds of ticks that are there are about 50 times more uniform than the atomic clocks aboard GPS satellites.
Right.
So there you go.
Okay,
there you go.
well,
fancy motherfucking stuff. Nice one, NASA.
It is.
Get on it.
Get on it like a cold bunny, Sam.
So that's it for the NASA news. Unless you got anything else to add?
Not for NASA. No, I have nothing else to add.
There you go. So moving on, we've got the main topic of the night.
We are.
Which is basically, so like we were talking about earlier, they've disclosed some information, and this is that? Well, I wouldn't say that, no, because like I say, I read the documents, and I think that it's a big bit of a kind of, it's one case, Now, the case I can go into in a minute, but firstly, I'll give you a bit of background. Obviously, in North America, folklore of the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch, are said to be a hairy, upstanding, upright, walking, ape-like creature that dwells in the wilderness and leaves big footprints.
Sometimes poo.
Depictions of the creature are often portrayed as the missing link, somewhere between a human or maybe ancient humans or sort of like ape-like ancestors. The first reported sighting of a Bigfoot or Sasquatch was in 1811 in Alberta, Canada, just near a town of Jasper.
Oh,
Jasper. Now, there's many legends from Native Americans that describe a human-ish, tall, hairy beast that was supposed to roam in the forest around the area, and Jasper's sighting matched that description, which led people to believe that obviously that's what it was. And in the years that followed, there's been many sightings, videos, and even TV shows. Harry the Hendersons, or even kind of the hunt for Bigfoot in search of Sasquatch. Yeti weekends on the Discovery Channel. It's been one of those things that it's always kind of come up, and it's always been a lot of sightings, but it's like UFO sightings. No one ever sees. No one ever gets good footage.
That's true.
But do they? Because there's a couple of cases we're going to talk about tonight where there's potential that there is more footage out there. And that it's just been kind of held back or
it's been thrown away, or disinformation's been thrown in the way, or something that's like gone wrong.
So where are we up to? So there's been TV shows about how the Sasquatch has kind of like been fucking spotted. But like I say, the video's really hard to kind of fathom. You can't kind of make anything out.
No.
And he's even left cryptozoologists puzzled as to whether the animal exists or not.
Well, that's so true.
So, like I say, we want to talk about this recently declassified document, which is a 24-page document on Bigfoot, right? Now, the FBI have kind of... Well, firstly, there's a Bigfoot organisation, right? And they...
One of many.
Well, they're one of many, right? But this pertains to the Bigfoot... I'm just trying to remember the name of him. Let's just give me a moment. It's the Bigfoot Information Centre and Exhibitions, right? And they're based in Dallas, Oregon, right?
Yeah.
And they've come across a piece of skin in the woods, right? Now, on this piece of skin, they said it was kind of caught on a tree, right?
Right.
And it had about 15 hairs sticking out, like, of the skin, right? Now, they're the Bigfoot Society in that area, right? So they've gone, we've got something here. We've got a piece of
skin with
DNA evidence, right? Now, they couldn't work out what it was, but they're just kind of like locals who don't take this the wrong way, but the members of an organisation that's looking for Bigfoot.
Yeah, right? So they'll be dedicated.
So, you know, if they see a bit of fucking hair on a bit of skin on a tree, they're going to be like, yes, this is it.
Why couldn't it be anything else?
Smoking gun evidence. Yeah. It's Bigfoot skin,
Not tested, automatically just said, that's Bigfoot evidence.
So, Mr. Peter Brine sent the who was the director at the time, of the Bigfoot
organisation,
information centre. So he sent this off to the FBI of all people, because obviously that's what they're there for. They're essential, FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Yeah, investigate this, mate. Yeah. So they've sent off the chunk of skin. To be analysed by the FBI. Right. Now the 24 pages of the FBI document. Are literally to-ing and fro-ing between Peter Brine, the director, the assistant director, which was Comran Jr., and different departments of the FBI.
Oh, right? Of course, you got shoving from department to department to keep it running.
So you start reading these, obviously these letters, and basically the information centre are kind of requesting that they do some samples on it. He leaves it a couple of months, and then
good time.
It's like, well, we've not heard anything back, we'll write to him again, right? But then the FBI start replying back saying, oh, well, we don't know what you're talking about. We've not analysed anything. I don't know what. I'll try and find out for you. Now it's back in the day when everything was like fucking paperwork. You're sending letters. You're waiting for letters. It's like 1976 at this point, right? Now this went on for quite a while. Right. Eventually, like I say, it's only 24 pages. Now, 2 of the pages at the start are just actually the documents that were enclosed to the chap who actually asked for the documents to be released. Because using the Freedom of Information Act, he was able to kind of approach these people and say, if you've got anything on Bigfoot, I'd like to see it. Right? So they've gone, well, this is all we've got on the subject, which I'm not too sure about. After all these years...
there's a key word, isn't there? There is one key word that, like, they've written in there that the FBI just went, what? And that was, the key word was all. All you have on Bigfoot. Give me everything you have on Bigfoot, and this is what they brought up.
Yeah, this is exactly it. This is everything they brought up.
This is bullshit.
So he's kind of like, after a fair few months, he was getting into the 1977 by this point. And he receives a letter back from the FBI, who they've been chasing this up, and like obviously this is the ultimately final letter that they get back. And he says, we've analysed your sample. So they've obviously found it now.
Well, after about fucking 3 years or something.
Well, no, it's been about 18 months, say, at the most, right? So
time to go out and slaughter a cat.
He's they've done their analysis on it, and it's come back the laboratory saying that it was a known species of the deer family, right? Right. And they've sent the sample back to them. Right. So obviously, if they want to go and get that analysed from a separate third party. One? Well, this is it. We don't know.
This is the question.
Maybe not. But like, obviously, if they wanted to get it back,
full sample myself.
I wouldn't have as well. Being totally honest,
I would have had at least 3 to 4 pieces.
So so that's pretty much all that actually pertains to. Now, obviously, that's not the end of the show. But what do you think about that? I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's a case that they were a bit stupid by sending the whole sample?
That was one mistake they did, right?
Now, I wouldn't have sent it to the FBI anyway. I would have got it sampled. I would have gotten to a university or a private
sample.
Oh, pardon me, a third party, someone who could analyse it. I don't believe that that's everything they've got on any topic. Right. If I was to go, I mean, they've probably got a bigger file on you and me. Do you know what I mean?
Probably.
Like, so you know what I mean? It's like 22 pages of one bullshit case makes a bit of no sense. Not to find the. I mean, obviously, there's one film that obviously gets a lot of traction when we're talking about Bigfoot, and it's the Patterson Gimlin film, right? Now, if you don't know what it is, it's a 50-second piece of video which shows a Bigfoot wandering into the woods, and it was very shaky, but it's been stabilised over the years.
Yeah.
And you kind of get a clear shot.
They think it's a man in a bear suit, don't they?
They say it's a man in a bear suit. Well, he very casually walks off. Right,
but,
now, this happened in 1967 at Luff Creek in California. Where basically there was people think that was all the footage.
No.
Right? Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but there's a story that's linked to it. And he's a fella called Frank Selinski. Oh, wait, no, that's actually a different story. Yeah, that's a different story. Basically, apparently, there might be more footage to the Patterson Gimlin film.
Well, they want to let it out.
Well, this is what's supposedly happened, right? Well, apparently, what was happening was they went out filming, in the woods, right? It was round about a hunting season, right? And they had about 3 cameras rolling at any one time, right?
Okay.
They went out and they said that they filmed 3 of these creatures. Just kind of like foraging, digging around in the earth, just having a recce of the area. And just basically plodding around the woods, right?
Yeah, as you do.
So it's like say they saw 3 of these. What would you call what's the plural of Bigfoot?
Bigfoots.
Big feet. I don't
know.
know.
Yeah,
Sasquatches.
Well, no, I've got foots, not feet.
Bigfoots.
Yeah, because you call it Bigfoot, don't you? You don't call it big feet.
Yeah, I would say Bigfoots.
Big feet.
So they saw these Bigfoots wandering around or digging up the earth and stuff, and one even directly looked in the camera. Right. This is according to the guy taking the video footage. And then next thing, they all split off into different directions, had a walk around, but then regrouped. Right. The next thing they all knew was there was gunfire. Right. One of them hit the deck. Right. One of them's run off into the woods,
pissing his pants,
and then the other one kind of casually strolled off, and that's the 50 seconds of the Patterson Gimlin film that everybody has seen, because that was like all they released. Now apparently there was all this footage that led up to that, and there was even footage of the one that was shot being dragged onto a tarpaulin, like as a kind of like a body, and they cut it up, right? So he basically says that there was all this evidence, or like this footage, that was pretty much smoking gun evidence to the existence of these creatures that had been kind of subdued or kind of held back. Now, when the guy who was telling the story said, you must be sat on a gold mine, you know what I mean, if you've got this footage, and the guy was just like dead blasé about it, like, no, well, I want to kind of keep it hidden, or I want to keep
waffle.
It. So,
he's got to be talking waffle. He's got to be, because if I'll give you 25 grand right now if you give me that video, that film.
Oh yeah, I mean, it depends. Like,
back in the day, they'd snatch your fucking ball bag for it. Never mind your hand.
Well, obviously, all these videos and all these sort of instances of a yeti or a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch being filmed are always kind of very low quality. The sound's no sound, and very shaky. And so analysts kind of find it difficult to always make out. It's always the same with the UFO community.
You know what?
As well.
I was just thinking of that. They're doing exactly the same what they do with a UFO incident.
Well, like
they either find something and they take it away and like keep it secret.
But like I say, they said they had 3 cameras rolling at any one time. So not only his footage, there must be another 2 sets of footage. Do you know what I mean?
In the military vault by now.
Who were they out there with?
That's a question.
Obviously there was more people filming, so there must be more to this than, if the story's to be believed. Now, have you heard anything? Have you kind of looked into the Yetis at all?
Yeah, I've had a look into. I was watching one footage of in the darkness, a couple of people, just looking around, and then all of a sudden you see 2 eyes. You just see two eyes, but like about 9 feet. Because the guys actually went back, tested it on how high it was roughly, and it was about 10 feet. Some girl who was there was saying like, oh, it was probably an owl, you know what I mean, sat on a perch. And the guy turns around and goes like, where's it going to sit? There's nowhere there for it to sit. If it was something there
it had to be stood up.
It would have something there.
Yeah,
so whatever it was stood up.
So it was a tall, big thing, yeah of course.
And I remember an instant of a guy who ex-military, and he used to go walking in the mountains near him in, I think it's Oregon. And he took his family up there one time, and his family were like, his two little girls were, you know, tormenting a little ant or something, and the mum was watching, and he fancied a wee, so he went like, I'll be back in a minute, I'm just going up there for a pee, right? So he's run up there,
and then Thanos did the snap, and they were gone. They dusted into the dust.
Looking at his family. He said he's never been so fearful in all his life.
Yeah, when you've got a big ape-like creature looking at your family,
so he ran down there. He told them, fuck off. Start walking down the path until there was no noise, because earlier on that day, down in the ground, he was hearing a sound, and it kept like making this like wolf kind of like sound,
like a howling or something like that. But something like he'd never heard before.
Never. And the stench.
Obviously, you'd think that like a wolf, you'd recognise a wolf howl, like you'd recognise a cock crowing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like to hear a growling that you don't recognise. That can be fucking. I bet that'd be scary. That. Coming from the woods.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
It was like from miles, I think they were about 2 miles away.
Well, there's a guy here that I mentioned him earlier, going too far into my notes.
Yeah.
Frank Selinski. Basically, he photographed a mother Bigfoot, basically stealing apples from his tree.
Oh,
right? Now, what happened was, when he drove onto his property, and he's got a bit of an orchard, right?
Okay.
And one of the trees is pretty established. It's been there for years, and it produces some nice
quality
fruit. Yeah. So like when he came up to his property one day, literally the whole perimeter of the tree was bare. Now not just from apples, from leaves, everything. Whoa. Yeah, right. Now not all the way up, like just round the bottom. Right, okay. So about halfway up the tree.
Yeah.
Right, so he was thinking, what the hell could have done that?
Yeah.
So he was kind of like, kind of concerned because it's happened again.
Time and time again.
So he starts thinking, right, I'm going to put a camera up.
Yeah.
So he puts a hidden camera up in the orchard.
Catch the kids at it.
And he manages to capture, which is pretty much a famous photograph now, and it's considered to be a Sasquatch with a baby. Right,
which baby?
So it's basically like it's like hunched over, and it's got this sort of like baby Sasquatch in its hand, and a lot of people who've analysed the photo have said that's what it looks like.
Okay.
Right, so he says he took the image to experts and Indian tribes, to kind of see if they could confirm what they think it was. And they say witnesses who've had sightings have all said exactly the same thing, that it's a Sasquatch.
See?
So yeah.
I've had a look into the Yeti of the Himalayas, which goes from Ladakh, Tibet, Nepal, and Bhutan.
Right.
No, I think I've said that wrong.
It's mad because they do show up all around the world, don't they? They don't. It's not just a case of, because obviously I said earlier, like the
Russian, Poland,
they do kind of tend to be seen in North America.
Yeah.
But I mean, they do show
more
up.
People
I've got a bit of information on other locations where they've been seen actually. But go on, give us your Tibet. What's the Tibet story?
Oh well, it's 15 miles long.
Right.
The mountains. The first time it was ever seen was from a British diplomat who was listening to stories about a thing called the wild man,
Yeah, I've heard about this because I've heard about this folklore about the wild man, and a lot of they do have a lot of different names for it. Like I say, we've mentioned but a few tonight.
Yeah,
but like I say, there is, and I mean, this is it. People kind of say the missing link. Yeah. Now,
which is highly probable.
Like we only talked last week about how the albino panda never been seen, and all of a sudden they've caught a picture of one of them. They know it exists. They found one.
Weren't there a white rhino in Africa a couple of years ago as well?
Probably
about 10, 15 years ago, something like that, where it was a good omen.
For
the place, and it was like mint. Well, that happened in 1832, where it was first actually seen. But it was first called the Abominable Snowman.
Yeah, that's right.
1921 by a journalist.
The Abominable Snowman.
First time it was photographed was 1951.
Right.
And the absolutely goddamn stink. Now, the description of him is 9 feet, between 5 and 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
Weight from 400 to 900 pounds, which I wouldn't know how to do that in British kilograms.
What's that? We're in metric for, I don't know, imperial to, I don't know.
Use calculate it out if you want to.
It's heavy.
Yeah. But it's also...
Well, you won't want to get close to one to pick one up, I suppose, if they stink.
Unless it's dead.
Well, then, no, you wouldn't want to pick it up even there. I wouldn't. Be like, nah, it's a yeti on the floor.
That news, how much you can give me? Yeah, all right. Wait.
What? So do you have to actually jump on it and kind of hold
No, it's already dead. You watch across the path, it's already collapsed.
What I'm saying is, all right then, you come up across a dead yeti, right, and you're thinking, right, I'm quids in here, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
What are you doing to claim it from me who comes across you next to a yeti? And I'm thinking, fucking hell, that's a yeti. And you go, yeah and no. And I go, we're quids in here. And you'll go, nah, I'm quids in.
No,
it's my yeti. And
I go, back off. You seen what I did with the yeti? I do it with you, son.
Fair enough.
I say, I knocked the fucker out. He had an heart attack.
I'm not going to fucking argue with the yeti killer.
You know what I mean? I've been known as the yeti killer.
Taylor, yeti killer.
Quids in, son, quids in.
This summer. The film event of the decade, Taylor the Yeti Killer, in cinemas near you.
Hell yeah. You want a Yeti? Come and see the boss. You get me?
Yeah, you go into his house, he's got a Yeti skin rug.
Yeah, and he's fucking big head at the
Anyway,
top.
fucking we'll have animal rackets on to us.
Yeah, that's true, true. We don't need to get rid of him, to be honest.
Now, like I say, they've turned up in a lot of different cultures and, like they say, native Indians.
Different colours as well.
How do you mean?
Well,
obviously the Abominable Snowman, like white, or the
surprisingly, it's not just white. There's actually 3 colours for the Abominable Snowman, and that is red.
Right.
Yeah. And brush yellow.
Oh, piss yellow.
Bush yellow. It's like, it's sort of like piss yellow. You know,
it was a white and it's fucking been fucking stinking the gaff up.
They're the 3 main colours that you'd see them in.
And brown, like the ones we've seen in the films.
No.
Well,
not under a yeti, it isn't.
Oh, right, okay. Do you mean like a Himalayan yeti?
Yeah, the Himalayan yeti, these are the 3 colours that get seen.
Yeah. Alright, and then you get your forest yetis that are a bit more kind of ape-like.
Yeah, but don't forget they've been climbing in more, playing with the kids.
Saying that, I don't know. I mean, like, we could argue that for hours, do you know what I mean? I think it's just because it
would have been spoiled by now, wouldn't it, if he was wearing a red dress?
Yeah. So,
really?
These like I say, it's turned up everywhere. I mean, like locals in China say that they've got a Bigfoot. They say it walks upright, looks almost human, has a bulging mouth.
Yeah.
And its ears stick up, and its body's entirely covered in hair.
Yeah.
They say that there's 8,000 species that live in the Shenzong forest and in China. And the Bigfoot could be one of them.
Let's call it 8001 then.
Yeah, I reckon
I'd go with that.
I've not already done that one, have I?
No.
Right. Well, a bit more information. Like I say, there's a bit of information on where the Bigfoot kind of hang out.
Yeah. I know that there's a possibility that it could be two bears that have been like breeded together,
right.
Two different type of bears.
Yeah,
he's come. Yeah, because there's been loads of like DNA tests and stuff like that. Give us your hairs. They did one in Germany. I think they did one in France. Did one, I think, Australia as well, where they actually asked people for samples. Scientists asked people for samples.
Yeah, they were always doing
and then
it.
Going through
it's like these genealogy sort of kind of websites. Do you know? I found out something. I think it's kind of I don't know if it's the Mormons or the another kind of like church.
Right.
Right. They believe that they can kind of do a healing by proxy. Do you know, like absolve you of all your sins. Right.
Yeah.
If they know about you. Right.
If they know about you.
So if, say, the apocalypse happened, right, then they'd be able to, say, do a big sort of, like, ceremony and save everybody in one foul swoop, right? So there's a vault in a mountain, right, which contains all the information. You're in there, mate, I'm in there. Anytime you've ever done a survey or anything, then it's linked to this place. So do you know when you do those genealogy things where you find out who your grandpa is and what you know?
I don't do that for that purpose.
Yeah, but those sites are owned by these people because they're able to gather that information. Yeah, believe it or not, this is what I just kind of found out. But anyway, back onto the Bigfoot. The Bigfoot are strongly associated with the Pacific Northwest, particularly Oregon, Washington, and parts of British Columbia.
Yeah.
But the most modern Bigfoot sightings are around Canada and the Rockies. Obviously,
I would say Canada was big.
Canada's got big in terms of like yeti sightings. But like I say, they are kind of spotted all around the world.
Yeah.
From China to
Russia,
Canada, America,
Poland.
Have we ever? Yeah, Poland. I've actually got a story about a Polish.
Well, I was checking some detective out who sadly died a number of years ago. He was doing like there's been like paths of footprints. I mean, like there was one where it was like 2 miles of fresh footprints, man. So they were following him, and one of the guides turned around and said, "Why, when you see the foot go, you see one step go straight ahead, and then you see the other step take a slight 45-degree angle?" He ended up working it out. Every time it takes a second step, it always looks back.
Right.
It always looks back, so it's always on the trail of someone's there.
Oh, so it's always looking over his shoulder.
So there's another reason why a lot of people haven't seen the fucker or took a photo of it. That was right.
It was a rock climber. Basically came across a yeti in Poland. Up the Tari Mountains in 2009. Whilst hiking up the Tari Mountain range in Poland in 2009, a rock climber came across a yeti. He just got some video of it, and I mean it's one of the top. If you look online, and you'll come across it because it's always featured in the top 10 yeti sightings.
Okay.
But there's been a fair few where they've been on mountains, and then like from across the range, they've been able to see some sort of ape-like figure on top of a mountain.
Yeah.
But again, you never get to see a clear.
Exactly.
It's not like I want to see definitive evidence.
I want to take a picture of the fucker.
Well, I don't just want to see a picture of it. It's like one of those. Yeah. It's like on Disclosure Day when they go, "Here we've got aliens, and hey, we've been joined by a yeti as well. Like everybody's here."
But the stories that we had yetis 100,000 years ago next to humans.
Maybe we did.
There are a picture that. Well, I don't know if it's a real picture. I think it's a statue. But there are certain methodologies throughout history where it's suggested that we were close to a tall, hairy people.
Of course we was, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, well, if you believe in evolution, then we descended from, like, maybe it was a combination of these ape-like sort of creatures, but then obviously you can believe in the ancient alien sort of theory that we were seeded. You could believe that, you know, they came here and bred with our kind of primitive ancestors. You could argue that it was just a combination of different tribes from different areas, conflict and absolution. Which kind of just, you know, obviously people started fooling around with people from other tribes, and then obviously it became like, you know, a new species.
Well, like, because we're the king of the species, realistically, out of I don't know what you call them, humanoids. I don't know.
Hominoids. I don't know. Human beings.
I go with hominoids because like I was checking out this a couple of months ago about the past history of how far our ancestry goes all the way back, and you know, goes into different like tribes and stuff like that, and it works out like there was like there weren't just us. That say there was 19 different kind of species of us. We are now the top of us because
we've got nobody else. There's no other natural predators like
within that though.
But that's it. But then are we going to get different sort of humanoids coming from elsewhere?
Yeah.
Well, if just going back to like, you know, about killing a Bigfoot, like, and you know, using it for the dough and all the rest of it, you want to check out. Go Ripley's Believe It or Not have a podcast, and their episode 1 is cryptids and the law around them. And they basically say what would happen if people actually captured a Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster. This week they talk about the law surrounding it, and they basically navigating how to
I'm going to have to listen to that.
Capture a Sasquatch if you do come across one. So I thought that was pretty interesting, worth mentioning. Also, we can talk about kind of the hoaxing. I mean, like, you know, do you think...
There's going to be loads in it, because it's all about the money. Like I said, if I had one, I'd fucking flog the bastard.
Would you not think that if you could, you know, in this day and age, that, you know, you can go with deep fakes, you know, there's all sorts of computer technology and sort of like CGI, that you could fake a really convincing Bigfoot. Right? So, you know, why are we still facing these grainy footage? Did people think that it adds production value to a hoax?
That's the same as forgery. When you forge something,
you don't make it better than the original, do you?
And you use the right paper, you use the colouring, tea stain in it, and stuff like that. You have to have the right quality, because they will be the things that will be tested. You need to pass them tests. Well, if you know what the tests are going to be, then you need to find a way to pass them tests. You're going to do it.
True.
You know what I mean?
True that.
If you're dedicated that much to doing something, you will do it. If you're not, then you're obviously not, are you?
Well, whether you believe in Bigfoot or not, you can't argue that it's pretty kind of interesting. And you know, there's a lot of kind of weird stuff in the world.
Still finding it.
But the thing is, we live in a big world, right? And, you know, the fact is, we've got a lot of animals that we know about that are on the endangered species list. The numbers are dwindling. So if you think about it, right, the chances of an animal like the Bigfoot or Sasquatch, yetis, or whatever, existing, quite, you know,
hairy bastard.
I mean, quite possible. You know what I mean? So,
There's enough evidence there now. Even quite a while ago.
And just because you haven't seen one
doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Exactly. So.
And not only that, a lot of people turn round. If you turn round and say, right, do you believe in Bigfoot? And they go, no. Next question you ask is, have you looked into it? And the next answer they say is no. So then how do you know? If you don't look into it, you will not know, will you?
It's like there's loads of things I've never seen. But I don't dispute they exist in the world. Do you know what I mean?
Thought it through in a
rational sort of way, like, you know,
Not just sat back and gone, nah, can't be possible. How the fuck? Nah.
Well,
really,
you know, I mean, it's like when people talk about Loch Ness Monster. You know, I mean, right? It could be there. If it is, it's elusive, right? But those types of animal have existed on this planet. So the chances of maybe one or two of them surviving all these millennia, then maybe, you know, you can't rule it out.
Well,
you just
it
can't
be ruled out because there is that 1%, even if it's 0.00001%.
I love that
there
quote.
Is a percent.
That I can't remember who said it, but it's like nothing's impossible.
Yeah,
it's just
everything's probable.
Very improbable.
Yeah,
yeah. I think it was probably Darren Brown. You know,
it might have been.
Yeah, because he does a lot of things with statistics and stuff like that. But yeah. So that was pretty much it for the show on Bigfoot. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. There's been a few bits of information there, but generally born out of the fact that this FBI nonsense came out. Now, if you want to check out those declassified files for yourself, you can get over to the blackvault.com. Right, if you Google it, you'll find it. It's a good website all in all because it's got all the declassified information, all the documents that you should be reading. Just get your head round. Some of it's bullshit, but some of it's quite interesting. Get
Make
over
your
there.
own mind up.
We've got some shout outs this week. I've got a big shout out for Jessie G. And the Not So Nice girls. Not So Nice Minnesota girls.
But
they are very nice. Yeah, I've said, thinking, in fact, Jessie was saying, like, she's thinking about coming to the UK next year. Yeah, I said, if she does, pop in, because we'd love her to be on the show. And they've been away for a couple of weeks, but we're glad to see them back online and coming up with some new podcast stuff.
Keep going, girls.
Well in. Also, Dunk. And his new whip. Broom. Big Patreon swoosh. He's our #1 patron. Give him a big shout out. The Virtual Hideout boys in Virtual Hideout Manchester. Want a big snoring. He's still asleep. But a big snoring. Shout out to Jay. Who, if you noticed at the very end of the episode, he couldn't stop making me laugh, man. It was funny.
He was snoring.
Mikey, who can't be here tonight, but check out his YouTube channel, which is Mikey Collects or something. Mikey's Collectibles. Big shout out to the Deep in History podcast, the Broadcast Pod, and the Paranonsens boy, who's basically been away as well. He's coming back. He said he's can't wait to get back on his episodes. And a big shout out to big listener, Mr. Crabtree on the night shift.
Go Mr. Crabtree.
It's morning night shift. Woo. Happy to have you here. And anyone you want to shout out?
Mother. Big shout out to my mum.
What's your mum called again? Shawnee. Hey Shawnee, how you doing, girl? Big shout out to you. Sorry, Chris, this isn't for you. But hey.
And a shout out for Chris.
Thanks for listening. And thanks for Chris as well. Thanks. So anyone else you want to shout out?
No.
Well, there you go. If you want to subscribe to us, you know where to go. You go to your favourite podcasting platform, and we're available on all of them. We're available on the YouTube.
We are.
Only a few episodes, but I still want to work on getting all them up.
It's just about time.
It's time and stuff, isn't it? It takes a long time. If you're anyone out there who's very good at that sort of stuff, who fancies making our podcasts into a YouTube video.
Go for it.
Sweet. Like, I don't know, work some out, email us, and if you want to email us, you can email us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter. You can get us on Twitter at NASA_never, and on Instagram, and have a look at all our pretty pictures.
Or you could buy some of our products.
I've not even told them where to go at Instagram yet. You go to Never Straight Answer.
Sorry.
But he is right, and if you want to tell him again.
If you want to buy, a hat for you and your little lady, or your little lady wants to buy one for you.
Birthday present, Christmas present, shirts, Father's Day, Mother's Day, bar mitzvahs. We've got Never Straight Answer mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, all that stuff. It's pretty cool.
At Dizzy Jam.
dizzyjam.com /Never Straight Answer. Also, if you want to help us out, we're on Patreon as well. And you can get over there and drop a quid in, a euro, dollar. Give us your dollars. Dollars is what I need. Because we need some equipment to make our podcast fucking sweet. See that, mate? That was for you. That was for fucking you. And you know what? I couldn't do that again.
No.
That was,
Yeah, please don't.
No, so yeah. These are the lengths we'll go to get you to join.
We will.
Get over to Patreon.
Extras.
And we get some extras on there. You got loads of. Well, there will be more stuff coming up.
Yeah.
And if you want to hear Taylor's head get burnt out with a quick Rick and Morty recap over the past few seasons, then we're going to record that and get that up on Patreon as well.
It should be a pleaser.
I might even put that just up on the mainstream because I just don't want to be ripping the air out.
If I'm ripping the air out, we stop the interview then.
Right, alright.
Yeah.
When we get to season 2.
Oh, what? That's just going to be... Alright, okay.
Right, okay. For in-depth breakdown.
Yeah.
Right, where are we up to?
We're going...
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh.
We've asked the lovely people.
Oh, right, okay. Right, well, there you go. Well, that's it for another episode of Never a Straight Answer. You've been a pleasure having you in the bunker with us.
Oh, yes.
I've been
As
Gaz.
Always. I've been Taylor.
And peace.
Out. Thank fuck he ain't snoring now. Go on, snore. Ooh.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.